Hi Gorgies, welcome back to the channel. I can't remember the last time I was filming from this spot. Ever since quarantine started, I've literally just been filming right by my bed on the floor. But today we're back, and as you can see, it's about to be a makeup video. I hope you guys are doing well. Your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your uncle, your aunt, your nephew, your niece, your grandma, your grandpa. I didn't make any mistakes that time. You guys better congratulate me. I hope you guys are doing well and quarantine is treating you okay. I really hope you've been enjoying the content because I'm trying to bring it out, sister. I'm like, yes, work, girl, work, work, work. If you're new to the channel, I really do hope that you subscribe. And if you do enjoy this video, please do like and comment down below. To my OGs, thank you so much for your support. I know you guys are out there. I see you in the comments. Always like, yes, babes, yes, babes. I really appreciate your motivation and like the positivity and the fact that you guys are actually engaging with the content. I'm super, super, super excited about today's video. So let's get straight into it. Today I am going to be using all of and only Juvia's Palace products. So we're going to start with the Warrior palette, which has these colors that are super beautiful, super pigmented. That is literally what their palettes are all about. The pigmentation is crazy, guys. And we're also going to be working on the Nomad palette. And lastly, we're going to be using the Berries palette, which you guys would have seen me swatch on my Instagram. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you don't already. And I do have a Facebook page, KHANYI MADIKIZA. I am also on Twitter, KHANYI MADIKIZA. Alright guys, so let's get started. I already did one side of my face, of my eye, and now I'm going to do the other side of my eye, and you guys will get to see exactly what I did. So this look I basically did yesterday. I was just trying myself out when it comes to eyeshadow. So I did this look yesterday and everyone was like, oh my gosh, it's so bomb, you did well. And I was like, okay, cool. If you guys like it so much, then let me do a recreation of the look and actually shoot it this time, because yesterday I did not record it. So here we are, gathered here to make the parts happen. So I'm just going to show you the brushes that I've been using. I have 6 brushes here. I have these 2 which I'm using to blend out the pink. I have this one that I'm using to blend out just the top where there's no color. I have this one, these 2 that I'm using to blend out my glitter shade, and I have this one that I'm using to apply my purple shade. So those are the 6 brushes. I could not tell you what kind of brushes they are. All I know is they're eyeshadow brushes. We're going to start off with the Warrior palette, the Warrior 3 palette. And at least this palette, the nice thing about this palette is that the colors actually have names. All the other palettes don't have names in the written for the different shades. So that is a bit of a schlep, because then you don't know, like when I'm showing you guys which colors I'm using, all I can do is say this one, this one. So I'm starting off with that purple color, which is called Candace. I'm going to use Candace in the outer corner of my eye. Oh, sorry, this has dried out now. I'm going to use Candace, which is super pigmented, as you can see there. I'm going to use it on the corner of my eye, and I'm holding the brush at the bottom because I want to apply it as lightly as possible, because if you have a heavy hand, what happens is it tends to blotch and apply more product in certain areas than others. So make sure you have a light hand, just so you can, you know, spread the product evenly. So that's what I'm doing there. Can someone please sponsor me a mirror? I'm out here talking about Juvia's Palace, and yet I'm using a Huda Beauty eyeshadow palette as my mirror. I don't know why most brands don't actually, most eyeshadow palettes, like they don't have a mirror in the thing, in the palette itself. And it's like, I wish you did. It would make life so much easier for all of us. I'm pretty sure this eye is going to turn out better than the other one. There's always that one eye that turns out bomb, and the other one is kind of lagging behind. Guys, do you see the pigmentation on this color? This Juvia's palette is literally doing the most for me right now. color payoff is insane. So I'm applying it on just one half of the eye, and I'm making sure to do everything gently, taking my time, no rush, because if I start rushing, that's when I'm going to start making mistakes. And I'm lightly bringing it out into the actual corners of the eye. Everything else that's left over will be cleaned up, so don't worry. For now, just enjoy. Woo! Pigmenty. This pigment is crazy. I think we're good. And the same and side time, guys, I'm loving these products. I swear, even though I'm not like someone who's like very heavy on eyeshadow, I'm just so impressed with this palette. I'm like, wow, it's making me want to become a makeup guru. And now I'm gonna move on to the Berries palette, and I'm using this hot pink over here. It's also really super pigmented. It doesn't have a name, unfortunately, so, and as you can see, the palettes don't have mirrors, they just have this decoration of the logo. So I'm going to use that. And with this one, I'm also holding it at the very bottom so I can go as light as possible, and I'm just going to use it on the inner corner and inner half of my eye. So just gently in circles, very lightly moving that in. I'm not worried about messing up. I'm just like, I'll clean everything when I'm done. And with this color, I'm actually going to move it up a bit closer to the brow bone, because I do want it to have a bit of gradient, almost getting lighter to darker and more pigmented, just to give off, you see what I mean, like it's a bit lighter there, going down it gets a bit darker. So just applying that and making sure that at some point I am blending it with the purple in the middle, but not too much for now, because in any case I am gonna hide all of that with my glittery shade or my shimmery shade. I think that's perfect. What do you think? Yeah, I think it's perfect. I did show you guys that I was using this brush. It was a clean brush, and I'm just using it to buff out the color at the top, because I do still have a lot of the concealer, so I just want to make sure that that is buffed in and it doesn't look like there's a harsh line there or anything of the sort. So I'm going in with this brush, and then I'm going to go straight in again with my pink, and then back in again, and then back in again with my purple. And that solves my harshness problem at the top there. Now the very last palette that I'm going to use is the Nomad palette. So this one has this really nice shimmery shade here that I love, and is also very pigmented, so I'm going to use that as my what do you call it, my center color or something, the color to kind of break away that line between the purple and the pink. So I'm using my finger to apply that. We'll just try to blend that in nicely. Okay, I think that's pretty much all the shimmer I need. So I'm then gonna go back into my purple and blend that in. Then I'm gonna go into my pink and blend that in as well. Perfection. And now I'm going to put on some mascara and put on my lashes, so I'll be back in a few minutes. Awesome sauce. Now that my lashes are done, we're going to move on to the rest of our face. I'm starting off by priming my face. I'm using the Farsali Skin Blur primer. Yes, I know this is not Juvia's Palace, but I love this primer. It's so hard to get it out of the bottle, like it's so irritating. And I shouldn't be using the nozzle the way that I'm using now, just to let you know, because that's an easy transfer of germs. But I have no other option at this point because it's so hard to get it out of the packaging. Then I'm gonna go in with my Juvia's Palace I Am Magic Velvet Matte Foundation. This foundation is full coverage, and it is better to apply it with a wet beauty sponge or a synthetic makeup brush, and that'll help to apply it effortlessly. I am in the shade Rio 430. I don't think this is my right shade, but like I said before, I could only choose shades online, and I didn't quite know what shade I was in because I didn't find a lot of people that actually wore my shade. So I went to their Instagram page and I saw a girl who was closer to my skin tone, and she used this shade. But because it's so pigmented, the way when it dries out, like when you look at it now, it looks like my perfect shade. And then when I start working it into my skin, it kind of changes. So don't be too scared, guys, if I start looking orange. We'll fix it. We'll fix it when we contour. But it's a great foundation. You don't need to build it up. It's full coverage. It literally is the perfect foundation for anyone who's looking for full coverage and who's looking for pigment. And it's nice and matte. Like, it's almost creamy in a sense. It's not like, you know, that annoying matte where your skin feels dry. This is not it. It is still very luminous on the skin, and it's great. It's great to apply. Also, a little goes a very long way with this foundation, guys. It goes a long way. I'm absolutely loving it. These days, this foundation is the only foundation I've been wearing. It just does it for me. It really just does it for me. And you guys would have noticed that I didn't put any concealer on my top brow today, because I do like the seamlessness of how it blends when you put in your foundation color. Also, I'm literally staining my lace right now. And it's I absolutely love it, guys. Do you see that coverage? I know I look orange. Please don't drag me. Don't drag me. It's my wrong shade. Next time, maybe I'll get it right. It means that I just need to go a little bit more neutral and not like golden or yellow. And I probably need to go a little bit lighter, but this is perfect. It's just that it's golden. It just needs to be more neutral for me. And now I'm gonna go in with the Juvia's Palace concealer. I think this is also part of the I Am Magic range. My shade is 18. This is what it looks like. Such lovely packaging, and I love the fact that it's like this nice thick nozzle that literally has so much product. It's nice, thick, and velvety as well, guys. I don't know the products Zabo how they make them, but damn, they're so velvety and creamy. It's just the best application ever, I swear. I'm not even trying to lie to you. I'm gonna go right ahead with the Juvia's Palace concealer sticks. This one is in the shade Benin, and it's quite dark, as you can see here, and I'm gonna use that for my contour. It's also very creamy, so I probably will go over it with a powder just to make sure that it doesn't get like shiny or anything of the sort. I'm gonna start by blending out the contour, and I'm brushing this up So you're brushing it up to meet your concealer. It blends in very nicely as well, as you can see. It's a bit of work when you're blending a cream concealer, but as long as you're gentle and you take your time, you can actually make it look really good. And like I've said to you guys before, when it comes to cream concealers, they look more natural and more of a natural contour than when you're using a powder concealer, and I do love me a powder concealer. Perfection. Perfection. Now I'm taking a damp beauty blender and I'm just going to blend out my concealer. I'm going to start with the forehead, just blending that down lightly, very lightly, dabbing it very lightly, because it's so creamy that it actually stays in one place. It doesn't like start moving around to places that you don't want it to. So it's so easy to just, you know, blend it in. Just gonna blend it towards the edges of where my dark concealer was. Oh guys, this concealer is just, it's such a pleasure to work with, honestly. I'm so grateful that I found this brand and I actually decided to purchase, because I'm very impressed. And now to blend the concealer. I start from the top and I'm bringing it in. Bringing it in. This hair is in the way. And I try to get it as close to my nose as possible so I can get a contour without contouring. A nose contour without putting any dark concealer, if you see what I mean. You see, when I bring it close to the nose, it automatically kind of like contours my nose. I'm not trying to bring the concealer out too much, so I'm trying to keep it right here. And the nice thing is that it doesn't move so much, so it's easy to control where you want it to go. And now I'm just going to bring it down a little bit to blend it with my contour. And I'm doing like light dabs. Then I'm going to go in with the back just to blend it out here at the top. And to keep everything in the middle, because I want the focus to be my middle. Okay, I'm going to fast forward through this side because you guys would have seen how I did it on this side. I'm very happy with how it turned out. It looks nice and blended. I'm now going to go in with my Laura Mercier setting powder. I did not get the setting powder for Juvia's Palace, so I'm using this one. And when it comes to setting your face with the Juvia's Palace products, I don't think you need much powder because my face looks pretty much set already and like ready to go. So I'm not going to do too much. I'm using a brush to do that. And I'm literally just going to pat the product in. And I'm going to remove it as quickly as possible because I don't want it to stay too much. I just want to have the brightening effect and the setting of my concealer. I'm then going to go in with the pink brush that I use at the top and just blend it nicely out. The lovely thing about this palette is that I have zero fallout, which is great. And now let's finish this baby off. I'm gonna do my lips. For lips, I'll be using my Essence lip liner, or eyeliner actually. This is, I can't even see anything. on this anymore. It's 02 brown. 02 brown. And I'm gonna use that to line my lips. And then I'm gonna use my Fenty Beauty Gloss Bomb Lip Illuminizer in the shade Sweet Mouth. Stunning. Last touch is coming from my Fenty Beauty Killawatt Foil palette. I just need one last touch on my eyes, and I'm gonna use the shade Subzero as well as Stonecold, which is this glittery silver palette here, and then also this white color there. I'm dipping a little bit into both, and then using that for my inner corner. Last but definitely not least, I'm using my Huda Beauty setting spray. It holds for the whole day. I really like it, but the only problem is the overwhelming scent, and it also just dries my skin. So I use the setting spray in combination with water, just so I don't have that dry feeling on my face. It dries quite quickly, as you see. And oh guys, this beat, yo. Okay, now I'm gonna go in with some water. Obviously the water will not dry as quick. And there it is, guys. This is the final look. I don't know how to style my hair. Like these days, I'm just like so confused about how to style hair. It's the weirdest thing ever. I think I'm going through a quarter life crisis. But okay, it's fine. We move. But yeah, this is the final look. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would love to see your recreations, so please tag me if you are thinking of recreating this look. It doesn't have to be the same eyeshadow palettes. It can just be colors that you like, that you blend in the same way. Let's just do this, make ourselves happy, let us look beautiful, and stay positive during this time. I love you guys so much. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment on this video, and I will see you in my next video.